You are listening to another Third Coast Nerds podcast. You can listen if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. 'Cause your friends don't listen, and if they don't listen, then they're no friends of mine.
Care of the Kyle collection.
We need to start working on a variable speed for her speech just to make things slightly more intriguing or less intriguing.
Do you want it to be less interesting?
I mean, we might as well just swing for the fences if we're going to do it. Just set the tone from the very beginning.
Yeah.
It's been another week.
Yeah, it's been a week.
Yeah.
Few for me.
It's been, what, a month for you or so, huh?
Yeah, I kind of ditched last time because I had to wake up at 3 a.m. and then go to work. And so at
That's
7, I was like,
but did you at least listen? Because you heard what she said, right?
No, I should have. I really should have. I apologize.
Kristen was on the last 2 weeks, so it
Oh,
would have
wow. I would have been able to face off with Kristen. This is going to happen sometime. We need to organize this.
we were hoping it happened soon.
If I had known, I would have caffeinated and I would have stayed up. I was just, it's 7 o'clock. I was like, okay, I'm crashing. I can make it to 8, but I can't make it past.
Just see Mike doing.
We actually did them early
no-dos.
too. I think we were done by like 8:30 the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they were early closers.
Okay.
So,
well, it wouldn't have been if I was here and Kristen and I were
right?
True.
That
Yeah.
would
Like
have
a
been
midnight one.
Or it could have ended a lot earlier than we thought.
And it would have been really interesting because I would have been sleep deprived, so
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have been saying.
Yeah, it tends to end kind of early if someone gets clocked in the head with a shoe.
Yeah.
However, our
Yeah.
viewership on YouTube might go up.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we're all trained. I know I would. Do you know to yell World Star if someone gets hit?
I have been told.
I usually yell hootie hoo.
Okay.
I'm the oh shit guy.
Usually go with hootie hoo, but in a higher pitched, more rapid
How does that go?
hootie hoo.
No, the high pitched.
Oh no.
Okay.
What about
You can't cry. You can't cry wolf.
So what
Now,
if I hit
the
Mike,
next time he
if I
does
hit
it, there's a
Mike?
50% chance nothing's wrong.
So if I hit Mike, would you do it?
Wait, what?
I don't know. I think we should try and see.
And the title of this episode would be, remember that time Mike got hit?
And they're going to think it's Mike Tyson, so our downloads might go up.
Yeah. Oh, did you see there's some new, I don't know if it's a commercial or whatever, but there's something about Mike Tyson. I think he was on some late night TV show, and he said, man, talk amongst yourselves because I got to look this up because it's worth it.
Okay.
Anytime Mike Tyson sings.
Oh, have you seen him on the lip sync battle?
Yeah, I've seen that a
is
little bit.
horrible. He's like just dancing.
Well, I mean, yeah.
He forgot to lip sync the second half, and it was still hilarious.
He probably has to like read a piece of paper or watch a video that tells him who he is every morning. What was that movie with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore? I think.
50 First Dates.
Yeah, where like every day she had to watch a video saying who he was. I think that's what how Mike Tyson's day starts every morning.
I'll have to ask
It's
my
like,
aunt.
you're Mike Tyson. You were the heavyweight champion
So
of the world.
Mike Tyson is Drew Barrymore.
Exactly.
My aunt used to actually help him. He apparently loves Men's Warehouse, and she worked at Men's Warehouse in Las Vegas, where I guess he
yeah.
lives. And
Oh, I mean, that's
so
where all the fights are.
So she used to see him come in all the time.
Really? Men's Warehouse? He didn't have his own tailor?
Don't know. That's where she used to work. She said
He's still paying off that ear.
I'll ask her about it.
Yeah, because we can go just hang out at a Men's Warehouse and get an interview. That'd be fun.
Well, I think you'd have to go to Vegas. But
Why wouldn't we? I mean,
But
that's just
anyway.
a good excuse.
since we decided to take a topic while Chad's looking up, we were talking about Jessica Jones. It's actually starting November 20th, so it's right around the corner.
Oh, wow.
Ooh. Oh,
All right.
I'm ready for this.
That's a lot closer than I thought it was. That's 15 days.
Oh, yeah. Oh, did you hear they released 5 more pictures of whatever?
No, they released
looking
probably
at the
like
pictures.
40 of them.
And
it was
a
a big
video.
release.
You know, if you put all those pictures together, you get a show, and that's what you should wait for until you talk about it.
I didn't know Carrie Ann Moss was in this.
Oh, yeah, there's a few people that
She Matrix
are
in?
Yeah.
She Matrix in
Apparently.
Jessica Jones.
We would never know.
Yeah.
Unless we saw her twice.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What if I told you your career would tank for a while? And then you would come back with a Netflix show, which is actually pretty righteous.
Yeah. Does she still look good in tights? Or is that why she hasn't gotten a movie for a while?
She
Like
looks
leather?
good in the picture. Did you see Fido?
No.
She looked really good, even though she was in a 50s skirt in Fido. I can't believe you haven't seen Fido.
I haven't.
Y'all don't know about Fido.
Explain.
Isn't it a dog?
No, it's an awesome zombie movie.
Oh, okay.
It's a heartwarming movie about a boy and his zombie.
Is the zombie named Fido?
Yes.
Does he
Is it
fetch?
like a dog for the boy?
Yes.
Wait, no, we watched this one.
Yes.
I've seen it. It's actually
I
pretty
think
good.
I've heard about it before.
Kyle
too.
has to be told if he's watched something or not.
I got bad memory.
Anyway,
Why is it not even?
Oh, did you find what you were looking for?
yeah, we're about to watch Mike Tyson sing.
You can do it.
I think I've
Used
seen
to call me on the telephone. You want to be alone with me. You call me on the telephone for you to get the big bone. No.
Yeah. Wow.
Nice.
I don't know.
That's why there's concussion testing in high school football now. Enough hits in the head, and that's what happens. He put 6 syllables in telephone.
The xylophone.
Maybe he was talking about the xylophone.
So you could call me on the xylophone.
Dude,
I mean,
it
he
could be.
might. It's a valid thought.
You don't know.
Wow. So
Does
that
he
was
tweet?
fun.
That
Does
could be like
he-
better than Jaden
He
tweets.
very well
Ooh.
might.
I'm sure he wakes up
Oh.
and thinks he's a bird from time to time.
Wrong kind of tweeting.
Okay, ignore the link I just sent. I was trying to send.
It's a squaw, y'all. It's a squaw. It's a squaw.
Oh, do you have something better?
No, I was gonna give you the Fido trailer, which it actually is pretty cool.
When did this movie come out?
2006.
Why didn't you tell us about it then?
He probably did.
I told Kyle.
Was it? It was a stop motion thing, wasn't it?
No, it's actually click the first link. Like this link, the huge, freakish.
The
thing I sent
wall
you.
of link
Yes.
that you sent to our chat room.
Yes.
You could call me on the telephone.
It should get you there.
He does not do his own Twitter.
No,
Oh no. This
I
shit makes
wouldn't.
sense.
I wouldn't think
Get
so.
you there.
To everyone that listens to the audio only, I'm sorry. We're just trying to drive views to YouTube because we're playing everyone else's crap.
Yeah.
Play
I'd
the.
leave them watching it while we talk, right?
It's over.
It's over? I thought
Yeah.
you said 2.5 minutes. Did we really sit there and watch that for 2.5 minutes?
Well, it's like the new YouTube trend where the actual content's a minute and a half long, but then you have a minute like click our other stuff, please like, subscribe, all that other junk, all the stuff that we usually fill the last 10 minutes of our podcast with begging people to do, and they never actually do. So they've shortened it down to 1 minute of video that no one ever watches.
oh, yeah, because that always reminds me of that one episode of The Simpsons when Homer made a website.
Yes,
And it's got just like the 9,000 things that annoy the crap out of everyone on his website, and he loves it. So, yeah, that's what the end of a YouTube video feels like for me nowadays.
I just assumed that y'all had seen it. I mean, I showed Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle doesn't talk to us except for on nights that we record
It took
a
him a
podcast.
lot though for me to see it because every time he suggests a movie, I think back to a bad day.
I had a bad suggestion once, and in my defense, it was better in the theater.
I had a bad experience. That's all I gotta say.
It's City of Lost Children. It's interesting. It was better in the theater, and it's Ron Perlman.
I like Ron Perlman. but
Don't do it.
It's French.
Whoa.
It's
well, yeah, instantly gone.
have you
Instantly
ever
gone.
have you ever seen Delicatessen?
Yes.
Okay, it was the
The way
sequel.
you say
well,
that,
not
you're like I don't want to admit it.
Delicatessen was awesome.
It was a good movie, but it does
it's
pain
French.
me.
Have I seen it?
No,
Okay.
it's French, so it's a weird.
I mean, the first
different-
4 letters spelled deli, Kyle. How can you not watch it?
The premise is it's post-apocalyptic. It's an apartment building. There's-
Postal apocalyptic.
Yeah.
I like
It's
that.
it's from the view of the U.S. Postal Service. That we basically install cameras on all the mail trucks. That's
bottom floor of the building is a delicatessen. If anyone is caught in the hallways after 9 or 10 at night, they are free game for delicatessen meat.
That would work for me. I'm a late person.
And no cross branding with Soylent. Can't do that. It's patent pending, trademarked.
why is
I
Pac-Man?
apologize.
Are you Pac-Man right now?
Yeah,
I hear Pac-Man.
that is
Okay,
my ringtone, and that is my son.
Uh-oh.
man. Well, on that subject of classic games, man.
We could Skype him in.
You want to?
Yeah. Why not? We'll make this whole show experimental, and we'll just see what actually works.
Hey, Sean, you're live.
Right?
But yeah, I've checked out on TV, as you guys have known, because I have nothing to contribute when you talk about TV. The thing that's been taking all of my time is designing stuff in CAD and building awesome game systems. I just built a RetroPie after spending pretty much an entire weekend in a hotel with one of them. Trevor built one.
How do you keep the filling good on a RetroPie?
You know, it takes a lot of old records, some bell-bottom jeans, and a lot of those dead fish in those shoes.
Oh, those.
What about
You know,
Jinkos?
in the platform shoes. We're going, dude, it's retro. It's not like last week.
They're coming back already.
Who?
No, they're pre-ordered. You can pre-order Jinkos again.
Yeah, there was some big thing about them coming back,
Yeah.
but I don't think people are going to take them as seriously as last time.
I want one pair. That's it. To wear to Charlie's once.
Dude,
That would be a great picture. Him in skinny jeans and you in Jinkos.
Excuse me. He
But
got
that
me
was
there.
one summer. That was one summer. Everyone went away normal, and everyone came back, and all of a sudden it was Limp Bizkit and giant pants.
Yeah. I had the red New York hat that I always wore backwards, and I had Jinkos. I think we've talked about that before. I wore them to work on the assembly line at a pizza place, and getting the raw dough and cheese out of the pockets that were at my feet that were 16 inches wide on the back of each 40-inch pant leg was not the easiest thing to do.
I still remember I'm standing in the gym and I see Neil with it was either 2 or 3 girls in his pockets, and he's like stumbling through. So he's like, it's the weirdest piggyback ride I've ever seen, and I'm sitting there going, he's gonna fall. And he looked like, you know, just like one of the like tearing down a sandcastle or something on a movie, like, you know, one of those assholes with just 3 things on his back. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I was one of those things.
Yeah.
Okay, well, basically you found the shortcut to get a date for prom.
Yeah, if I
3 of
fall,
them.
I just spin.
If three of you fit in my pants, one of you's bound to dance with me. Here, just stand here. We'll take you to class.
Exactly.
But yeah, I built a RetroPie, which is it's a small Raspberry Pi box with a box with a Raspberry Pi board. You install this operating system called RetroPie on it, which is a prepackaged version of a Linux distribution that's built to run these emulators, and drag and drop all your games in there and play your games. And from start to finish, this process took 5 minutes. I was hoping
to
it would
print it?
No, not to print it. I didn't print any of this.
Oh, you bought this straight up?
Yeah, this was the.
Okay. Yeah, that's you. I was holding that
Show
earlier.
it to our audio audience.
Yeah. Can't you just see the sound? But yeah, it's a Raspberry Pi 2, and I just bought this kit on Amazon. It comes with the case, power supply, pretty much everything that you need to get something like this started, including an SD card, and you just buy the USB controllers. So all told, I probably have around $80 invested in this.
Nice.
And this small box has every video game I played from the time I was a wee boy all the way up until I sold my PlayStation 1.
Very nice.
So this is everything.
Now,
that
did you
I
rip
played.
all of those games personally?
No, because oddly enough, there's many a website that cater to.
I just figured
this
you, of
thing.
all people, would be that guy. Like another friend of ours that is like ripping all 2,000 of his DVDs one at a time as slowly as possible. I was like, hey, dude, send me a list. I'll race you.
I know a few people this could be.
It's funny that I won't say who's not pirating's name on the air.
Yeah, right. But yeah,
I
he.
give him a hint.
I think I know who this is.
You might be trained by him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, even he downloaded the games.
Oh,
So,
yeah?
Yeah.
So what kind of controllers did you go for?
The Super Nintendo style.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's many different USB controllers that you can buy for these things. They have mock-ups for like Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, even the old school Nintendo controllers.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, those are ones I'm about to
Yeah.
buy for my computer for the emulator.
And since Linux, I'm learning this. I've taken many years off of Linux, but what I'm learning now is that this is the universal plug and play. Doesn't give a shit about drivers operating system. Whatever you plug into, I plugged a PlayStation 3 controller into, it, and it's like, what do you want these buttons to do?
Very nice.
Yeah, like webcam goes in because I bought another Raspberry Pi for my 3D printer.
Yeah.
And plugged the webcam in, and it's like, I know what that is. Done. It's a thing that shows pictures. Done.
What is the actual version, or what blend of Linux is on it?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. All I know is that it's download image and it boots into RetroPie. That's all that I know.
So
I
you don't
can
get like
you-
an Ubuntu screen or a Debian or anything like that.
No.
Cool.
No, nothing like that. I mean, I'm sure that remnants of that are there, but I didn't investigate it far enough to really figure it out.
Nice.
Because, I mean, I didn't want to dig that far. I don't really care.
So HDMI, 4 USB.
Yeah, HDMI,
and network?
1080p native. It's powered off of a micro USB 5-volt phone charger.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Nice.
And the kit even comes with little heat sinks and stuff like that because you can overclock these and possibly run N64 games. Some of them, anyway.
Okay, so there's a cutoff on that for
There is a
platform.
cutoff. Yeah,
Okay.
there is a cutoff, but it's a quad-core processor. It handles.
So why is the cutoff a PlayStation 1?
I'm not sure. I mean,
The quad core should run everything up to
on-
almost Xbox.
yes, on paper, this thing should run pretty much. It should run up pretty far, but it has something. It has more to do. The N64 cutoff has more to do with the emulation that they ran for 3D. The hardware for the N64, certain games had to have like special 3D hardware acceleration or something like that. And instead of having that built on the console, they couldn't plan for all those things. Developers actually built that into the cartridge. So there's a lot of extra hardware in those cartridges that can't necessarily it's difficult to mimic those.
Is that why you had to blow on them?
Like, what? Yeah, we're so far removed from that era. I had to
Yeah, I
think
know
about
it's
that
that
for
bad.
a second.
Huh? Nice. So that's been fun.
Yeah, so there's that. And-
Wi-Fi or no?
yes, you
Does
I
have
mean,
Wi-Fi.
This kit comes with a USB Wi-Fi adapter.
Okay, so you got to plug an adapter.
Yeah,
It's
you
not built
just
in.
plug an adapter into it and you're ready to go. But 4 USB ports on it, Ethernet built into it, and this I've read about people running Windows 10 on these. I'm not.
nice.
I want to get another SD card to try that experience to see how good it is. But yeah, I wanted it to take more time. I wanted this to take more time because I brought it to work with me on a Thursday, thinking this would eat up at least a couple of hours. And from the time that I unboxed everything, snapped everything in place, downloaded the image, wrote it, and put the SD card in boot, I was like, oh, I got RetroPie. Maybe 5 minutes.
Nice.
So the interweb says it uses Raspbian is the type of Linux that's built
Okay.
specifically for the Pi, and then it overlays Wine to run all the emulators and everything.
Yeah.
I wanted to say Wine because I need a refill.
Ah, yes.
You have the refills.
But
Yeah, Wine is what I
here they
actually
come.
ran a lot of Steam games on my Debian box a few years back. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But nice. I'm gonna have to get me one of those. Have you looked at? Can you put like a wireless controllers that are
Yes.
USB based?
Yes, you can.
Nice.
What about Bluetooth
Bluetooth,
ones?
yeah, you can. All you have to do is buy the USB adapter and,
Yeah.
and plug it in.
So essentially, you can use your phone as the controller.
Yes, you can.
And it has one
sure
or
you-
two wireless.
What's this?
Does
It,
have
it
more
doesn't
than
have
one?
anything.
No, I'm
You
talking-
put a card in it. You put a USB.
Yeah, you put a USB adapter into
Does it
it.
support using two so you can do ad hoc?
I don't know, maybe.
I want to try that one.
These are questions you should have thought about before you brought it up on the air.
But I didn't get into the operating system side of things. I bought it to do this one thing. That's all I really care about.
Fair
What
enough.
did you do any research on media server applications or
Yes.
like a player at least?
Yes, you can do that. There is actually a Plex build for this.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, you can turn this into your little Plex media streamer. The only downside of that is, I mean, I have two of the devices. I have two Rokus. I have the Roku Stick and the Roku 3, and I don't see anything home built that can really beat that. Because by the time you're invested in this, this kit, you can get the Raspberry Pis for much cheaper. You can get rebuilt or whatever the word that I can't think of right now. that means-
Refurbished?
Thank you. I was like, refreshed. It's
I'm good
refreshing.
at words every
Scottish
once in a
Spring
while.
soap. It's made of sand and
Irish
gravel.
Spring.
Yeah, Scottish Spring for those men enough to wear a dress. But
Said all I could think of was Ricola.
yeah, but you can buy refurbished ones for like $35, I think, for the Raspberry Pi 2s.
Yeah.
And you can get into it cheaper there. But like the Roku stick, I think I maybe spent. I think it was like maybe $50 on Amazon.
I wouldn't buy anything less than the Roku 3, but I use multi-Chromecasts, but I haven't got Chromecast 2 yet. But I have been wanting to. I've had an itch for some old school games lately.
Yeah.
So
And that's it, man. We played. I played Streets of Rage. Rage quit that. Play Mortal Kombat, rage quit that. Played Street Fighter, rage quit that. So yeah, you're reminded.
So by
that,
the time you play them all and you rage quit, just let me know and I'll borrow it for a weekend.
Yeah.
I want to play Bibble Bobble.
How many Zelda games are on it?
I have Bubble Bobble. I have.
Yes.
Can you
yeah,
save?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes, you can. Any game that supports saving, it does it by itself. Like, you don't even have to think about it. So it's kind of cool.
You're going to have to correct me on the name because I know I'm going to say it wrong. It's like Kickle Cackle, where you kick the little ice cubes and you have to solve the puzzle. It was an original NES game.
I remember it, but I'm not going to say stupid things like Kickle Cackle.
It was something like that.
Too late.
Let me try to find it. Hey, you did just say it.
But yeah, there's a website that has just about every ROM
Kickle Cubicle.
you would want.
I didn't play that game. That game sounds dumb.
It was fun.
Sounds like our lives in our cube farm.
Yeah, what finally drove it over the edge was we were at the hotel. I downloaded Jet Moto 3 for the PlayStation 1 and played it. And I was like, sold. I love that game way too much to not spend.
Did it have any Gauntlet?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, anything you want for the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis, if it was on any of those platforms, if it was on anything during the 8-bit, 16-bit, even up to the 32-bit era, you can get it.
So no GoldenEye would be the primary game that I...
No GoldenEye because of the a lot of the 3D... a lot of the 3D acceleration, whatever it is in there, it requires more than what this can do.
So that means no Tekken 3, huh?
I don't know what. I never played that one. What was it on?
It was original PlayStation, I think.
If it was on there, yeah, you can download it.
We should do a tournament.
Do a tournament.
Eddie Gordo.
I wish it was this easy because we were talking about like a couple of years ago. I was talking to Kyle. I was like, I know a guy that has like just stacks of Xbox 360s. We should get a Halo tournament going. And no, apparently it was all there. Everyone was like, oh, console, no. But yeah, that's the only way to do it.
And then we all bought PS4s.
Not all of y'all. Not all of
Yeah.
us.
All except Neil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, take it legit. Let's do a Halo tournament.
I'll pull two 55 inches in here. Well, let's do it. Someone else bring theirs. We can get a good tournament going.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good. And the other thing that's been occupying my time is this quadcopter, which I finally mocked up and finished putting together. So this is everything that I redesigned. I went with a basic R250, the base design for that. And pretty much the only thing that remains from that design is the fact that there's 3 decks, and it has arms that are a specific distance apart for the props. That's all that remains the same. Everything else I redesigned from the ground up. So this is what I've been doing instead of watching TV.
It's missing a few pieces. I don't think that could fly right now.
It could not. It could not fly right now because wires are just dangling out and not connected to anything.
Yeah.
And it's missing the things that make flighty things happen.
But if you want to see how sturdy it is, we can throw it out the window and see
it
what
does.
happens.
It could make a pretty wicked Chinese star.
May I see?
So are you purchasing the blades, or are you going to print
I already
them?
have everything.
Did you print them?
Yeah. No, I didn't print the blades.
I figured that may be the one thing, because it makes it fly, that you'd want to have possibly someone that...
Just buy them because they're cheaper that way.
Yeah.
And the time it would take with support material to actually print a prop, you're just like, I'm just going to buy a bag of them. Because you can get a whole sack of them. Like Kenneth bought a bag of, I think, 100 or 200.
Mm-hmm.
That's very nice.
And
Probably be lighter if
Yeah.
it's processed made instead of printed.
yeah, the printed weight. Yeah, even with all of this, like if you take a look at the stock R250, and I'll bring up a picture of it, but if you take a look at that, it's very sparse. Like there's not much to it, but I saw a couple of different ways to possibly improve it. Because I can't stop tinkering with things, and if I can't buy one, I'm gonna at least tinker with the CAD stuff. So there's the design. This is the one that Kenneth pretty much built.
That one's much more colorful than yours.
It is, yeah, it is colorful because I only have one spool of plastic and it's black.
So how are you going to see it at night when you fly it? Because it gets night really
put
early
lights on.
now.
Yeah, you get like Kenneth has like super bright LEDs on it.
Oh, yeah.
Tony's has LEDs on it.
Well, Tony just bought a new air sprayer, so we just get glow-in-the-dark air spray.
Oh,
You're
nice.
good to go.
Or
you could literally make a UFO and we could scare the crap out of some people.
can we still order
Yeah.
some sort of uranium? Or
Yeah.
you used to be able to
Stop
order
the
that.
podcast. We're all going to get pulled in now.
Yeah, with the way like the FAA stuff is going right now with these and uranium, it's
Yeah.
probably a bad mix. It's probably a
I
bad
don't know.
idea to do
Let's
that.
see what you can pull up on Craigslist. You got some uranium?
No. Not on my internet. Not on my internet. This is going to be bad for me. They're going to be people in like Men in Black knocking on my door tomorrow.
Yeah, and also,
You think it's going to take them till tomorrow to get here?
I'm not going to wake up till then.
I also mentioned this because they actually just brought out a training program, like an emulator for this. So you take your
how to
controller,
make it or how to fly it?
how to fly it.
Okay.
So you plug in your controller that you would use for this, and you fly the sort of emulation of this.
Oh, Garcia was talking about that.
It's on Amazon.
Yeah.
Uranium is?
Yes, $39.95 and free shipping.
So you're staying over here and you're talking to the guys in the suits. Question for you, though. So I know with 3D printing, and you'll know the technical terms, so correct me, but there's different fillings, like the percentage of, like, I guess, air in the middle, right? So
Yeah.
that, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So are you going to make that with less filling to make it lighter to see how, if it meets the durability, or what's your testing plans there?
Considering this was the first prototype, and all told, over the design I just showed you, the one that Kenneth printed, or basically with the specs that I looked at on my printing program to show me what the weights were, this is only 2 grams heavier than the stock frame. Even with all of this additional, you can't really see it here, but I built in pockets to hold the ESCs instead of having to find some way, the speed controllers for all the motors. You have 4 of these. So instead of trying to find some way to, some kind of adhesive or some sort of way to fasten these in place, I just built walls and bolted those in place. And there's a small divider with a couple of pinholes here that hold some center walls in place. And all the ESCs just cradle right in there, the exact dimensions. So this is what, if you have like a CAD mindset, or if you have any sort of engineering know-how, or you craft things, interesting time to bring it up because there's a maker fair in a couple of weeks at George R. Brown. If you have any of that sort of basic knowledge, if you know shapes, if you graduated kindergarten,
I know a circle.
you can make things like this happen where you, I mean, all this is just flat shapes and very basic geometry. And if you see a way to improve it, it's quite easy. So the convenience of having a 3D printer and seeing a way to improve something, there it is.
So do you plan on having multiple filaments to try it out or not? That was my question.
This is actually done with a 50% fill hexagon.
So you're going to try anything less than that just to test it out?
Yeah. Basically, what I was having trouble during this print was I was having problems with it actually staying, stuck to the bed. I was having problems with the corners lifting, which is an issue with heat and how fast certain parts cool.
Yeah.
So as it gets further off the bed, the top layers start to cool more rapidly, and it shrinks and it pulls the bottom layer off the bed. So you get like really distorted prints. But all these parts came out after I upped the temperatures and played around with it. All these parts stayed, stuck. I didn't have any distortions. So this is actually a pretty perfect model. But I was still stuck on that 50% infill, based on how things were shrinking and pulling apart. That said, there's actually still a lot of weight to shed off this thing, and this was really done on the safe side, having not ever printed out any component of this.
Nice.
So all this existed before each of these parts were printed out. It was just a CAD model, which I showed you guys the picture of in our hangout one day. And so now that it's actually printed out in physical and actually have put it together, I see like, I can cut this. This doesn't have. I don't have to have as much plastic here. It's extremely rigid. So
nice.
I can stand to lose a lot of plastic off of this and probably get under the weight of the stock frame.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, because the stock frame is designed around CNCing the thing out of carbon fiber, and the convenience of 3D printing is you don't have to work within those confines. So there's multiple ways to reinforce certain angles and certain bending directions, certain twisty directions, and
bend it twisty
and make it twisty.
Are you planning on mounting anything to it?
Yeah. Like actually, you can see all these things are bolted like directly to the plastic.
I mean, like a camera or laser. Or
eventually, there will be a first-person view camera on the front of this. I actually already have the module designed to hold it. It's like this big beak piece that goes in front. And I'll have the goofy goggles. Actually, it's kind of funny. I need to take a picture of him because it's going to end up on this podcast at some point. But Kenneth looks like the lawnmower man whenever he flies his.
Beautiful.
He flies his at the park by my house, so I usually ride my bike down there to meet up with him, hang out with his kid. And every time I pull up, this is his pose. Looking straight down, because I guess with his head up, your first-person view on a thing that's in the air going really, really fast and making sharp turns, if he keeps his head up, it's apparently going to make him puke.
I can see people getting like confused.
Can you sneak up on him before he knows you're there?
he heard my bike riding up one day. And he's like, Chad, is that you?
So you stop a few hundred yards out, right? And you sneak up on him. And while he's doing that, just spin him. Just start spinning him.
Or
Well,
just shoot him from 100 yards away with a paintball gun.
Yeah, I like that he has his son there
Baby
as his
steps,
bodyguard.
Neil.
though.
Baby steps.
I like the fact that he has his son there as his bodyguard, though.
Yeah.
You know, like, warn me if anything goes up.
You can get him in on it. I'm sure you can. Just Pokemon cards or candy. I mean,
Oh,
you can
yeah,
buy
yeah.
you can buy any kid.
Yeah, the kid's good. But yeah, this will end up in the air soon. Hopefully by this weekend, if it doesn't rain. I'll hopefully have everything done and everything programmed.
Yeah. My time has been basketball season started.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Apparently, I read an article today that the Bulls are looking to divorce Derrick Rose.
They may be. They may be. Butler is better and less injury prone. He's actually local. He's from your area.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he went to Tomball High School. So
Okay, nice.
Right around the corner.
Yeah.
And if you say he's from Houston,
He'll correct
corrects
you.
you. And
Tomball.
no, I'm not from Houston. I'm from Tomball. But yeah, I mean, I'm obviously caught up on TV because I care.
Yeah, this is cooler. This is way
But,
cooler than TV.
I don't know, dude. This has been a pretty good week in TV. There's been a number of major
It's
reveals.
really good. Your voice goes
Yeah.
up this high?
Yeah,
Your voice goes this high? It's really cool.
That's how excited I am right there.
Did the Asian die or not?
We don't know. They did a 90-minute Morgan episode instead.
Okay.
But you remember Drew Carey?
Yeah.
You remember like his cross-dressing older brother or younger brother or whatever?
No.
Yes.
Do you?
Oh yeah, I love Drew Carey show.
Yeah, he ended up being the guy who trained Morgan. Like he's he's actually a shrink that somehow has a jail cell in his cabin in the woods. And he comes across him and has this like Asian bow staff like mentality where all life is precious, and that's where Morgan got all his stuff. So it was a 90-minute dedicated to Morgan special, which everyone's mad at him because he's the cause for a lot of things going on the show. But
Which show is this?
Walking Dead.
That's why I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that was actually probably one of my least interesting shows this week. I really thought the episode was done well. A lot of people are complaining about it because they don't like the character. But I thought it was a good insight to why he's the way he was, even though I don't agree with his current stance. But yeah, they left that away. They left the
You say like you're going to vote for him in November.
no.
Like I don't.
Might be the best option.
That was yesterday.
He's a consummate flip flopper. Okay, he's
Yeah.
a flip flopper.
But there was some good reveals on Shield this week,
Still one behind.
and
As am I.
I'm
well,
still
on
like
Shield
30
they
behind.
you find out who he is, who Lash is.
Oh,
I'm 2 behind.
Well, Lash has been in here all season.
Okay.
But they get that reveal, and then there's a few other ones. Because they did the same thing. You haven't seen the Gemma episode then, where it was just her on the planet.
So no, that's the one I'm on. I started it, and then
That was last week's, and then
yeah.
there's one more. So
you're
not too far behind.
No, I'm not. There was busyness because it was on my office TV,
Yeah,
and then I was like, I'll be right back.
and you never came back.
And then no, I came back, and it was to turn it off so I could go to bed because I worked the next day. So I mean, I'm an adult, sadly. Like I don't want to be, but
I was really hoping Ed was here because his favorite man in the entire world,
Constantine.
yeah, Matt Ryan, as Constantine, showed up on Green Arrow.
Oh yes, but I'm going to throw it out there right now because he's going on a trip. He won't be here next week either. So you'll have to hold that for an additional week.
An additional week.
An additional week.
Yeah. And actually, the episode was so... There's so much stuff going on in it. It felt like it was over 42 minutes in. Because I was like, oh, wow, so there's the Constantine cliffhanger. And then I pressed fast forward, and I was like, huh, we got 18 more minutes of this. So that was... There's a lot going on in a number of the shows.
So what
Is
you're telling me
the sister still overacting?
Oh, always, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
you're telling me
Well,
just
the
dedicate
sister
some
right
time this
now
weekend.
is way overacting because, well, that's why John Constantine's around. So,
Yeah, yeah.
which is interesting because it has a supernatural element, and the way they introduced John Constantine, he seemed like a badass. It was pretty cool. So I thought they did a pretty good job with him.
I'm psyched to watch it. I've been wanting to. It just hasn't happened yet. So if I can etch out the time this weekend,
Yeah.
I'll be current next week.
And Flash was interesting. I enjoyed that one.
I saw talk about that one, so I just quit looking at that Hangout because I didn't want to ruin it.
Was there talk about that one?
I don't know which Hangout. There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of hangouts and a lot of talking going on.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'll eventually get there. If this doesn't get into the sky this weekend, if it's raining, then I'll probably watch some shows.
If you don't want to, though, can you make a really kind of a fat Super Trooper, or not Super Trooper, Stormtrooper?
I was like, we already had a fat Super Trooper, Kyle.
Yeah, I know.
That was you for Halloween.
Stormtrooper. Because if you want to print that instead of TV, I'm okay with it as long as it's my size.
It'll have to be in black, apparently.
It'll be in
I'll
black,
buy white.
and it'll have to be pieced together like Legos to
8
fit around
inches
you.
by 9 inches by 10 inches. That's
so you
that's the total area that I can print.
You
in.
could make my cod
know what?
piece then.
Hey, I'll go on a diet. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, like you would ever fit in a box that's 8 inches by 9 inches by 10 inches, Kyle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you're right. There's no box.
I can print these pieces out. It would take a lot of gluing.
Well, no, you make them snap together. Can you print
Wow.
Legos?
Yes, I can print Legos.
Dude, no, that would be annoying. Could we putting it together and you hear just
No, but
snap.
Could we give you a design of something, and then you press the Legify button on your CAD program, and it just prints all the pieces,
I think
and then
there-
you give
No.
it to us?
Wait,
No.
No, we
while
need to-
there
we
may
need
not
to
be a
wipe
program
this
that
part
you
off of
have,
it.
I think there is a program that where you can create Legos, actual Legos.
You
from
can do it on the Lego
things.
website, actually. If you
Yeah,
want to design
Lego
your own
website.
set, you can do it on the Lego website.
But do you have to give them money for that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
You
I'd
have to
rather
buy
just
it from
use
them.
your 3D printer.
Okay, so we need to wipe this.
It might be cheaper
a
to buy
good
the
idea.
Legos.
Probably so.
Plastic-wise, no. Time-wise, yes. Because each of these plates, even though they're flat, still took about 2.5 hours to print.
Oh, that's not
So
worth it.
there are many days worth of printing in this.
How small can you print something?
I'm finding that limit. So there's a spacer in here that has it's basically a 2 millimeter part. If you look at these little dividing fences in here,
Yeah.
the width of that is 1.5 millimeters. And apparently that was approaching the limit of how tiny something I can get. I can print if you just want one layer of that, I can make that all day. But as that wall has a 10 millimeter height,
Yeah.
so as you start to get a little bit higher, it gets a little squirrely
Yeah.
because there just isn't enough.
I was just wondering if we could print out 750 Legos that would build a 2-inch square after you put them all together.
So you're talking
It would take some
miniature
time.
Legos.
It would take some time.
Yeah,
there's
extremely miniature
So,
Legos.
so you're talking the flat piece you used to use to build buildings. That's a big Lego in comparison.
Do you still have that cube downstairs that I brought over?
Yeah, you mean to get it?
No, you don't have to get
Because
it.
that's a long way.
Yeah. It's a 25 millimeter cube.
Okay.
That I printed out. It's one of my first prints that I printed as a size reference to check the calibration of the printer.
Oh, I saw this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I know what it is. You don't have to go get it, Wino.
He's probably just going to get another bottle of wine.
Or
But
slice
yeah,
of pizza.
that cube.
Oh, yeah, there's pizza.
Before I started messing with the quality settings, that cube took about 5 hours to print.
Oh, wow.
So it takes some doing.
Yeah, I wouldn't wait that long to do all that stuff.
Well, I print it and then I walk away. I'll bring up. Did you happen to see Heather's costume at the party?
Yeah.
Did you see the part I printed for that?
No.
Okay. Well, then I will go look that up.
You going to look up the piece you printed for?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
we should have actually had a picture of everyone from the Halloween party and shown some pictures.
Yeah. It would have helped if the other host of the show would have been as into that idea as I was.
Yeah.
Or coherent.
Oh no, you had a mission because you were following the same two people around the majority of the night. So there was definitely a mission on your mind.
I'm just talking about.
Does this open? Is this one of those boxes? That
No. It's as boring as it can get, man. That's all there is to it.
Well, this is much bigger than any Lego I would want to make, so I think we're good.
I almost dragged a special guest that also has a 3D printer. He's had for a couple of years just to join this part.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll eventually get him on the show because we're going to talk about quads whenever I get mine done.
Like quads is in your muscles.
No, quadcopters, like things
Oh.
that I put in the air that I
okay.
just.
Gun show.
That
Well,
I just,
I put my guns in the air too, so.
he raises tiny carports. So
Yeah, I mean, basketball, TV. I hadn't watched. Well, did I watch any movies? I don't think I've watched any movies this week. I doubt it.
It's that time of year that you have to meet all your goals at work, so that's been my goal.
Are you going to rewatch the Hunger Games before the finale?
I probably will.
When's that?
Soon, very soon.
Yeah, it
Soon.
comes out in the next month at least.
Yeah, within a month.
if I can do a callback to an earlier episode, I swear I put these in OneNote, the release dates of all these movies.
Yeah, they're there.
But since moving to Windows 10, I can't open up the OneNote in the application anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, here is the piece that I printed.
Nice.
So it was it's a pretty damn complicated thing to put together.
Yeah.
Especially when you have no models. There's a website called Thingiverse where you can download the files to print a lot of these things.
Yeah.
And I got excited because there was one of these complete that had all the detail in it. And but it just downloaded, it was fluff. It wasn't anything I could actually put in the printer. It was just a bunch of nonsense coordinates that the printer didn't know what to do with.
It looks like your badge to wear as a tribute.
Yeah.
This is the thing. It's Arwen, Lord of the Rings. I don't know.
Okay.
I've never seen the movie, but it's something in her costume. It's like a belt buckle kind of thing. It weaves into the laces and stuff.
Yeah, that's the one for the cape, isn't it?
It's like a belt buckle. It's not for the cape. It's like a belt buckle. It's like 5 inches across. It's a big piece.
All we use that website for different things because you did that, and I had some guy send me pink boots for my keyboard because it broke and you can't order them from Logitech.
Okay.
So we use that site for completely different things.
I've downloaded a couple of things. There's actually a lot of things for quads you can download off of there. Like all the stock models for printing, like the stock design for the quadcopter, you can download from there. All the pieces are done. Once I have mine complete, I may package them together and upload it to the same website. So you can download my sort of more compact design for the quad. But yeah, this is what it looked like after assembly and paint. It was last minute. Like we talked about it on Hangouts, like midnight. That and I stayed up till about 3:30.
Halloween Eve.
Yeah, Halloween Eve. And I stayed up until about 3:30 in the morning making it in CAD, and then finally got the base piece on the printer at 3:30 in the morning. Woke up about 3 hours later to take it off, and then printed the other two pieces out, and then had to sand them by hand because there was some nastiness to them. There were some plastic boogers, as any 3D printer with a design like this will put out. Hand sanded it, put it together, and I was very, very tired for that party.
Did you use Gorilla Glue to put it together?
No, they used. I didn't put it together. Heather and Trevor put it together, but they used hot glue.
Okay.
So it would have been either that or like a fast set adhesive or fast set epoxy or something like that. That any of those would have worked. But yeah, so that's kind of the cool thing with having the printer available.
Cool.
Kenneth tried to sell me. I'll give him credit. Like Kenneth tried to sell me on it a long time ago, and his sell process was, I printed a soap dish. It's like, dude, I printed a soap dish. That was his argument.
That would not have worked on me either.
He's married though, so
Well, I mean, I like my soap to stay dry. I do.
Yeah.
But
you don't care that much.
yeah, it's not something that I've ever been excited for. My soap has never been so wet and deteriorated to the point to where I felt the need that I need to go buy a 3D printer to print a soap dish that I could go get at Dollar General for $3.
That's the exact same thing I said.
I figured that may have been your response.
My thought process would be go to Dollar General, get it for $1, and just drill a few holes in the bottom. You're just as good. Save $2.
Yeah, that was my same argument. I was like, why would you buy this appliance to spend the time to print something when you can just go to, like, you're big on getting out. I'm not big on getting out. The 3D printer would appeal more to me for that reason because I buy everything online because Walmart sucks, Target's not much different, and everywhere else where you have to encounter people is a bad time. If I'm shopping more than 15 minutes, I'm shopping angry.
I just had a sad picture of him printing Friends.
Oh.
You're like, I don't want to leave the house, but I want to talk to someone. Print.
That's the difference. I know you guys. I know a lot of other people. I'm all friended up. I'm done.
No. My picture is like Hangouts are going on, and you just like pull up the action figure you created for that person, so you can see them talk on Hangouts.
Well, if you remember from Comic Palooza, they had there was a booth there where they were doing 3D scans of people,
Yeah.
and they would turn you into an action figure.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was tempted.
I asked Monkey about that specifically when he came to the first draft.
Yeah.
Mark was here, I think, and Mark and I, started playing Brimstone pretty heavily there from June to September.
Yeah.
And we asked about printing minis with this 3D printer, and he's like, no, it wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would just, the way the 3D printer worked, he went through a lot of explanation.
Yeah.
And I think I had a beer. And I should have asked a closed-ended question.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking anything like this to Monkey. But yeah, I kind of wonder what kind of equipment they're having to use to be able to pull that off.
It really depends on the quality of your printer. There's a lot of other factors involved, but with the way that there are certain printers out there where definitely, yes, you can create extremely high resolution, very well done action figures or different minis. With the printers that we have, which use a plastic filament and spit it out in a thread, like you can see this is a cube. You can see there's a lot of texturing to it.
Yeah, it feels like it's almost scratch and sniff.
Yes. So if you take a look at it, these are each of the Z steps along the Z axis. It's just a micron layer. I mean, it's a fraction of a millimeter. But as the machine moves, it wobbles a bit on that axis. So you don't get a really clean finish to that. Yeah. So you have to imagine this happening with an action figure. There's another factor of support material. Mm-hmm. Like the printers, it spits out it's like the size of a hair, like a human hair.
Yeah.
So it lays down these threads. So for an action figure, it's doing this. Mm-hmm. It can only do it in slices horizontally. Yeah. So as you move out of this span, there's nothing there to support that. So eventually it just sort of derps and
or you have the messy leads that require you to do a lot of hand sanding and things like that.
Yeah, or they don't even connect.
Yeah.
It's just an arm out in space and it eventually just droops and falls, and you just have a bunch of threads.
So what you're saying is the only thing you could probably print successfully is Groot.
Yeah, you can actually probably do a pretty righteous Groot.
It's like a software problem because, theoretically, it could print in more than just layers. Or in more than just
this is something I looked into.
It has to have something to print on top of.
It has to have something to print
midair.
on top
the
of,
support.
But it could print and then go back, I would imagine.
Probably something that might work out for you to fill in the gaps. You can print a very rough approximation of your figure with support material and everything else.
I wonder if, honestly, that's why most of those minis for Brimstone come where you have to assemble them.
Yes, because they're all molded, and you have to the molding process. You have to have something that's fairly symmetrical, so you can break the mold open.
So that's actually the part that I was looking at. I had sponsored on Kickstarter Zombicide, which comes with 100 and something figurines. So I was like, I need practice. So I started looking at, can I just buy filament? And because Tony's like, I'll print you whatever you need. It's like, I can buy filament. He can print me out, and I can practice my painting before I get the cool ones. And I looked at it, and 3D printing, the part that it's in the figurines right now is it creates the mold. Instead of using the clay and all that they've done in the past, it'll create a mold. They'll do the mold, and then they use sandpaper to kind of get it where it needs, and then they'll create a mold off of the finished product. So it's not quite to the point where it can be precise to get that detail you see in those that horrible painters like myself will cover up with thick strokes, right?
Which made me wonder how they're going to be able to capture this in an action figure.
Oh, all your curves? Your curves?
But like I said, there's definitely printers out there that would do it.
You see the shirt?
Yeah.
I'm
just
wearing
not
the
Bruce Campbell's Cream of Evil.
Did everyone watch that at
If you were
least?
printing him...
No, I didn't watch it.
I have not watched that TV
You were
show yet.
you were supposed to leave the party to come watch it here.
Dude, I'm doing real shit. All right, I'm doing real shit.
Bruce Campbell.
Wine.
If you were printing him...
And it's on the internet, and it will still be on the internet when we get out with this.
When you were printing his arms, would you be able to go up his torso and then back out and then down?
No, the limitation is in the actual the carrier that holds the cartridge for that. Now there are some very expensive and very fancy ones that can move in multiple axes to draw those kind of shapes. And there's also resin-based printing, which is a lot more precise and a lot more stable for these kind of things.
Not cost-effective.
Yeah, not cost-effective. Hopefully in the next decade, we'll get something that's more cost-effective in that realm. And then, dude, all day long minis. But there's products made by, I think it's Stratsys. They were formerly known as Objet, which the company I used to work for owned a bunch of these machines. And the first thing that they showed us in the demo was an articulating, moving action figure. So there's two different types of goo. One turns into a solid. The other one sort of stays like a jelly. And it's the guys that made these printers are the same ones that designed the HP inkjets back in the day.
Okay.
So they took that and was basically...
That's what's wrong with it all.
I was sitting there thinking I was into this idea until he said HP inkjet.
Right.
I was like,
No, their printers are legit. I mean, the super high resolution.
Are they too legit to quit?
You would try to quit them.
I've had a bad
but you just wouldn't quit them.
That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, the first thing they printed out as a demo was an action figure. And so you have these two kinds of material. You have a hard plastic and a jelly support material. When all of it was done, it looked like the Blob. It looked really funky. We took it over to a high-pressure wash tub, sprayed all the jelly off, and it was like, look, you can move its arms. You didn't even have to pop them together. It was already together.
Nice.
Oh, so essentially it uses that as it?
Yeah,
as kind of its
a
buffer
gap
almost.
fill. Yeah.
Cool.
And to support, like, if you have an arm that's sticking out, it uses that to connect that to the plate to hold it out so it doesn't droop and get all funky.
So have you seen the video of what they're calling like the reverse 3D printer where you have a pool of resin?
Yeah.
The D3 printer?
Yeah.
A D3 printer. Where they basically, it sticks in and it lifts up, and apparently it's using UV light to create it. So they did the Eiffel Tower in one piece, and a third of the time it would take a 3D printer to do it.
Oh, nice.
So, but apparently those are not near cost effective yet.
Yeah, so this is the Stratus. Well, let's get past the...
Yeah, that logo was awesome.
Yeah.
The way it made that.
Yeah,
like
but
no
this is
CGI or anything.
This is the printing process. It's UV cured resin laid down. I think the best they could get was like 1/10 of a millimeter. But you load it, just like you would load ink cartridges in a printer. You load your different materials in this printer. They come in little. It's almost like the Ozarka water program.
Yeah.
Like you just get jugs delivered to you, and you just mail the old ones back. But let me see if I can find if they do like a finished.
Oh,
but yeah,
he's scraping it.
Yeah, this is the car. I think when you're done, you spray the whole thing off.
Oh, we don't care about you cleaning it. We want to see the finished product.
Oh, it's like a spa.
Yeah, so when you're done, you spray out, you remove all the support material, and you have the inner working gears. It moves the pistons, all that stuff.
Oh
moves.
wow! So like a working that's impressive.
Like a little working toy car.
That's impressive. When can I get one of those for $85?
It's going to be a minute.
Print me one.
But yeah, like you can
Before
find them.
you have that, I'm going to have a 3D printer that's similar to what we have now on my phone.
Right.
Probably. I mean, this stuff is coming down pretty fast, especially like used printers. There's a Solid Doodle 3D on Craigslist for like $250 the other day. I bought mine. Mine's the Robo 3D R1. I bought that one for $800 on Amazon. It's all backed. Like I bought it there because I was like, if I don't like it, I'm just gonna say I don't like it.
Aren't you on like number 3, or was it just 2? Didn't
What,
they
on
like ship
printers?
something broken and?
Yeah, it arrived broken. Yeah, the print bed's glass, and the way like it clearly says this end up breakable.
It does have an arrow too.
Yes, it has many arrows all over the box.
Is it red? Was it red?
No, they're usually black arrows.
No. I mean, it looked like
You got to color code that
It
stuff.
looked like this dude went Donovan or Pele on this box and just like kicked it up to the front door.
One of those UPS guys that throws it over the fence.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because the bed was just shattered in the bottom of the box. So that was disappointing because I had like a whole weekend set aside for just this project, and then I had to wait until the following Wednesday to do it.
He's just
You had-
staring at broken glass,
Right.
upset.
You had your like paper towels sitting there next to the chair. You're prepping for a nice long weekend. You and your 3D printer, and then
You and I look at receiving things very, very differently.
and then blue balls.
I can't say I've ever beat off to a thing I've bought on Amazon.
This got special real quick.
Yeah. It's like, that's right, you flap, you box flap, you take, I'm going to open you up.
You haven't been to Amazon After Dark, have you?
All I know is you're never using my Amazon Prime. Ever.
Oh, man. Reminder, if you've made it this far in the show, you have to remind me whatever Tank looked up for you that day.
Whoa, did you say Tank?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a friend of ours named Tank.
All right.
Is in like a big motorized machine, or I hold 30 gallons of water.
Or that guy on Matrix.
There's a third one.
It's
A combination of the 3?
yeah, kind of.
Does that make him Asian?
No, not at all. Yeah, he's the one that goes down the dark roads of Amazon.
Oh,
And then just has random things shipped to his house just to see if his wife will open it.
nice. Very nice.
I want to meet this dude.
Does he gift wrap?
I don't know. I don't know if he can, but
Because
yeah.
there's nothing better than gift wrapping it with her name on it, and then she opens it and throws it at you.
Yeah, if Tank had the patience, he would be probably the perfect dude to have in Tech Minds because the guy's brilliant.
Nice. No patience, though?
I don't know. I just probably no patience for chit chat on Hangouts all day.
Yeah, there's a lot of words that are on there that I just ignore.
Yeah.
I have like one not muted, and it's ours. Everything else, I get to it maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I smoke like 3 times a day during work, so that's usually as I catch up. So that's why you'll notice I'll chat for 15 minutes, and then I don't for 2 hours. That's why.
Yeah, mine is like if I'm in the middle of something, but I know I have a meeting in 2 minutes, I don't want to forget it. I'll look at Hangouts because it's only going to last a minute and a half.
Yeah, true. But you definitely need to watch it, guys. Represent.
I want to.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too cheesy because I was worried it was going to be a little too cheesy coming back. And
It's a little cheesy, but no, it picks up.
Okay.
What was really cool about it is it came on Halloween night.
Mm-hmm.
When did you watch it?
The night before Halloween, I was over at some friends, and I ended up getting home around 12:30, 1 o'clock. Flipped through the premium channels. Guardians of the Galaxy was on, as well as X-Men and a Superman. So I picked Guardians.
Fair enough.
After Guardians, I saw a 47-minute long Ash vs. Evil Dead episode titled El Jefe.
Nice.
Apparently, before Guardians of the Galaxy, they ran the trilogy, the Evil Dead trilogy.
Yeah.
And I didn't even catch it because I was overrun with glee. I woke up the next day. I had to go get the Bane mask for Halloween. Mm-hmm. Everyone was kind of doing all their stuff, and then we finally settled down around like 1 o'clock when everything was done, and we were going to start watching some shows. Hit the DVR button, and boom, it's sitting there. I had actually kind of forgotten about it. I set it to record just in case, but I assumed they made a mistake. They're not going to show it.
Yeah.
The first 2 minutes were Bruce Campbell basically thanking you for being a fan, and saying that you should also make sure to watch it live so they get credit because that's what counts is views. And then it was like, here you go. And they did an encore
Live on
Stars at 2 a.m. Prior to.
So they did it way before.
Can you actually? Do they actually track cable users individually?
Well, you do have to, not individually. You do have to have someone who has cable's email address to log in to the Stars stuff usually.
Okay, so you mean
but
online.
Stars is pay, so I think it's different. You can do it online, but I thought it was really cool that it came on. It's supposed to come on at 8 o'clock on Halloween, which is bad timing for me because it's 8 o'clock on Halloween.
You had stuff to do.
Yeah, but the fact that they were cool and we're like, you know what, kind of screw the ratings a little bit.
Like that. We had stuff to do. We had backyards to stand in.
Yeah, pretty much.
People to stand amongst.
But I thought it was really great to be able to watch it prior to going to the party.
Yeah.
And then ruin it for everyone at the party, which is kind of fun.
Nice.
But to your point, your question a little bit, there are a few complaints on the internet about too much CGI.
Okay.
I did not think, but how else are you going to throw a thing that cuts down trees? Why did I get a
An axe?
The chainsaw.
A chainsaw, yeah.
I'm thinking medieval ages. You got an axe.
A
They came
chainsaw
before
across a
chainsaws.
room and someone catch it on their nub of an arm and it look.
And they're going to
100,
have
you
to
know?
have kind of. I mean, I imagine this doesn't have the greatest budget.
It has a better budget than the movies, probably.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, they could afford CGI.
Well,
but
it's
there was a lot of like,
2015 too.
and then of course to stay true to the trilogy, you cut a head off and blood just goes everywhere.
Nice.
So there's a lot of that kind of stuff. Some people did say blah blah blah. They didn't think it was good because of the CGI, but it was exactly what I wanted it to be.
Cool.
It was a show
Yeah,
that
but it
obviously did
kind of-
not take itself too seriously, and for the pilot, it actually moved the story along a line a little bit. Like you kind of assume how long is this going to take for him to become Ash again?
Yeah.
Like all this kind of stuff, and by the end of the episode, he's you're back. It's great.
Yeah.
So watch it. It's going to be fun. It's
Well,
going to be a fun
Is
season.
it on your Plex?
It is, but my Plex is not on the interwebs.
Can you do that so I can watch it?
That makes me have to log into my residential gateway.
Paper, rock, scissors after. If I win, you do it.
It'll likely be on mine by the time you get around to wanting to see it. So there are many options.
like-
Or Chris Flicks.
Yeah.
He probably has it.
He probably
by now.
has it.
If not, I can request it. I like Chrisflix. You can say, I need this, and it happens. Actually, they respond much faster than Netflix.
I bet.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't even listen to me, to be honest.
I was at the office. And I was like, can anyone grab like when they were airing before we knew that the current Texan season was going to be a dumpster fire. When they were airing Hard Knocks, I was at the office. I couldn't download it that morning. I was like, "Can you download Hard Knocks?" He's like, "Yeah, done." And like 5 minutes later, he's like, "Okay, it's there."
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, when I was watching when I was catching up on Arrow, I think it was because I was one season behind. He was missing an episode, and I'm like, I'm halfway through the episode. I know he's asleep because he's a narcoleptic. I was like, I really need this now. Either he's just really good, or he woke up because of my Hangout message and did it. So when
He just wakes up. And he's like, "Someone needs me."
so by the end of the episode, I look and I was like, refresh. Yes, there we go. We got to play it. I was like, this is good.
very specific set of skills.
So I have 2 words for you, Kyle, that'll stay on topic. And the first word's technically just 3 letters, but it's still, I guess, kind of a word. An acronym and a word for you.
Okay.
CBS Now.
Okay.
Oh,
Back to that.
So I sent out like an all points bulletin multiple times this week.
No one noticed them, so you don't have to talk about it. No one knew that you knew about this until
I knew about it.
I
Like
think it's hilarious the one time he chimes into Hangouts that all of a sudden all
No one
18
cares.
other people
Yeah. Aren't.
suddenly find some other shit to do.
Yeah.
yeah.
so like I find this, and like it was posted like 30 seconds after I saw it. I was like, ooh. So I'm copying, pasting. I'm hitting it.
I got one. I'm gonna reel it in.
Wait,
And-
we in the Hangouts like ooh, ooh, oh. It's your song, man.
I like the conversation. I get a tingling sensation. All right, no.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, I'm looking at it, I'm just like, and Mike was one of my first thoughts because he's gone on and on about that bullshit. So, and it's the headline was Star Trek 2017 CBS Now, or whatever CBS calls their stuff. So they're bringing it back. They're trying to cling on to the movies. What it looks like.
Possibly, yes.
I don't think they're going to pull the same cast because that's
No, but they do have the same director.
Yeah, is it producers, not the director, because
Is it-
J.J. Abrams was the director.
Yeah.
So was it Snyder or who?
No, some K name.
Some K name.
Okay, name.
Start with a K.
It's not me.
It's a K name.
But I was like, you know what? I could definitely be hyped by then. That was my thought. So I had to share.
Yeah, the thing that popped up in my RSS feeder said fans may not be happy paying $5.99 a month for the new Star Trek series, but CBS CEO Leslie Moonves believes the risk is small.
They're not putting much money.
We've got 14 months to complain about this.
Yeah, and they'll change their mind.
I mean, yes, I understand, and we've all talked about online streaming being the wave of the future. It's actually the wave of now for anyone who knows what they're doing. But like, who's going to pay $6 a month just to watch Star Trek?
They are going.
I can think of
the article I read. They are going to. It's not serialized. That was me. Sorry.
Use your words.
What is it when you sell a TV show to individual
Syndication.
stations? They're going to syndicate.
Serialize.
Thank you. They're going to syndicate this as well as stream. But
Well,
who
see,
knows
and-
how many people are going to buy
by
it.
the
if
time
it's
it comes
streaming.
out, it could be to where we're buying individual channels again, right? So I wish it's probably not going to happen.
No, I mean this model of TV is going to hang on for dear life for quite a while.
Yeah.
They lost
See,
HBO.
I'm already on buying. Like I pay
You
less
gotta
in streaming
think-
services, and I get to watch everything that I want.
Oh, without a doubt. But you got to think about people who still that live out in the middle of nowhere that still don't have internet.
Yeah, no,
Like, there's
yeah.
still those
we
people.
know one of those people.
No, two.
Kurtzman, by the way, was the K name you were thinking about.
Thank you.
Kurtzman. Yeah, a guy who was involved in the last 2 Star Treks. That's
Two.
not J.J. Abrams.
Orky's there too.
Oh yeah, 2 people?
Well, I
Rob-
think they should probably be able to afford that green chick.
No, they can't afford that.
No,
No.
she was in it for like 35 seconds.
Yeah, but she showed a lot of green skin, and green skin costs.
Does it?
Green.
Wasn't that the thing with Dax on Deep Space Nine? Like her time in the makeup chair
Yeah.
took a lot,
Yeah.
and it was
Worth it?
like from like here up, like that took several hours to do.
Wow. I
Yeah.
would have just printed and like
Yeah.
Which is why you weren't part of Farscape.
Well, and that's the thing. Like even
But just make the whole makeup process a Bazooka Joe tattoo and just rub it on,
even simple costumes. Well, it's hard to compare them to simple, but I mean, characters like some of the people in Game of Thrones, where their intricateness is in their costume design less than their makeup.
Yeah.
Putting them in those costumes takes 2 hours to make them look the way they do. So I mean, you add that to a full face paint. I mean, they give those people on Face Off like 2 days to do that stuff, and you know, they're not as professional and stuff. But
dude, if
every single day having, I mean, I understand. You know, Christopher Judge got it right. Put a gold thing right here. That's it.
Yeah.
Like nothing else.
No, I mean, you had a couple of seasons where they were doing like the spray tan sparkle.
Yeah, you could tell.
But that went away real quick when he was like, "I'm tired of bathing after every scene."
Yeah. So I'm against it. I love streaming services. But you know, you have people that are paying for that $35 a month streaming thing. It's pretty common now. That does a lot of your local channels, ESPN, Slingbox or something maybe.
Talking about Cody?
No, there's something else. There's a couple other things.
Because Cody's the same thing for free.
No, there's a thing you can subscribe to for $35 a month that pretty much gets you ESPN 1 through 3, TNT, Food, like a bunch of those channels. And I'll remember it at some point. But then you have your local carrier, which you just throw an antenna or, you know, an HD antenna
for what, $15?
$15, and you can get CBS. So it's like, okay, cool. I got my local channels, and I have the basic package, and I'm looking at $35 a month plus internet fee. Well, now, you know, HBO Go, 10 or 15, depending on how you get it.
Or best friend.
Or a friend. But, you know, you start adding that, then you add a Hulu account, then you add a Netflix account, and then now, okay, CBS has one. Well, NBC is going to be next.
Yeah.
Then you never know. You want to watch reruns of Fresh Prince? UPN. You got to pay an app for that. You know, it's just like, at what point is it going to get ridiculous? And we'll be in the same situation. Yeah. Well, I can buy this one channel. But when you buy 10 channels, you're paying more than you would for a whole cable bill.
So you already have NBC that's partnered with Hulu because their shit's already on there. You have ABC that's on Hulu.
Okay.
You have CW that's on Hulu.
Okay.
Right? So CBS.
Really, if they would have gone Hulu, it would have been awesome.
Yeah, they would have gone Hulu. It would have been great. If not, that's $5.99. That's half. Actually, it's less than half. You want no ads, right? So I add that to my current subscriptions, which I have Netflix and Hulu for now. Because, I mean, it's like I have other avenues. But even if with that I have everything, and then say I want to watch Star Trek, I add that. It's still like a sixth of what a cable bill would be.
Yeah.
So it's still worth it because all the other ones that you mentioned are already on Hulu. Like I bought Hulu for Castle, and then I realized I can only watch current episodes. That's the part that sucks.
Ouch. Depending on how the series is, that's what's going to make it worth it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to sign a 2-year contract.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. Think about it. They're like, you know what? We don't think people are going to stay past episode 8, 12-month deal. Because a lot of people were saying that very same thing. You know what? Cancel Hulu for a month. Binge watch this for $6.99 for 1 month or $5.99, and then go back. Like, swap it again.
And that's where I think
I can see
contracts
come into play at some point with streaming services.
Well,
but
think
about it.
Instead
like
of contracts, they should do the annual. So when I think about stuff online, if they give me a very small discount, so Loot Crate for one, I get Loot Crate. If I buy it for a year for 12 months, I get a discount. I'm more apt to do that, and then if something else comes up, I'm going to buy that too.
I can see
if it was the same thing for Netflix, it'd be great. I would buy an annual one for like 5 years out because I know I want Netflix. But right now, the only way for me to do it is pay the exact cost of me paying month to month, and I have to go get myself a gift card, so I have to gift it to myself and then put it in. So at that point, I'm just making it convenient to where I'm not paying it monthly. It's just once a year. So if they would drop the cost and do annual, it would be avoiding the contract that we all hate with Comcast or whatnot, but we're all happy.
Well, I think the primary reason why they don't do that is because of the stigma around contracts. And I think that's one of the reasons. I think it's one of the things where Netflix has been smart is it's like, you can quit anytime, bro.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to walk away.
Oh, yeah.
Just don't pay for it for a month, and you don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, very easy.
Well, and then you have to come back at a higher price because a lot of us are grandfathered in.
Yeah. Because I had original where you paid like, you know, $1.50 and you got 40 DVDs a month. Yeah. And now...
Well, the streaming service is different.
$7.99 for streaming, and then I think it's like $14 if you put 30 DVDs in it now.
Yeah, but
It's like $1 or $2 more if you come in now versus as if you were.
Yeah.
well, they're raising the prices for everyone across the board here shortly.
Yeah. Again, the second big wave of price change.
Well, and it's,
Yeah.
it's similar to like when Google Play was in beta. I think I paid $7.99, and if I go back now, it's $9.99. But if I would have kept it, it'd be $7.99 forever. Like that was the deal. If you would have kept it, and then they just added that YouTube Red, which is all YouTube.
That's I don't like.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't like where content's going on YouTube, where you have to pay for these channels that made their money off of free views and making you watch a 15-second ad before you can click skip the shit. Now you have to pay a premium to go watch that content now.
Yeah.
And PewDiePie and all these other freaking people on, you're not that interesting.
No,
Well,
what's going to end up
you're just-
happening?
You're just paying the money to avoid that ad.
I said that
That's
as we're
all.
going to post it on YouTube. Hey,
Yeah.
pay for us.
Well, no, that's the funny part about it is I've already overheard people at different locations that I regular wait because you can download an application and download a series of YouTube videos from their YouTube channel pretty easily.
Yeah.
So that's what you're going to end up seeing is instead of people, masses of
We'll
people,
start torrenting stuff.
you're going
that
to start
should-
torrenting
yeah.
free stuff off of YouTube, and that's the thing. A lot of the torrent sites you go to, if you're a member of a private tracker and all that, like you can't post things that people can get for free. They're not going to let you essentially charge someone ratio download to get something they could just go to the website and download. That's why it was really difficult to get a lot of the flavors of Linux.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier for me just to go to where I normally go to get stuff and get Ubuntu than go to Ubuntu. Oh,
Then figure
see-
out which one of the
Which-
200
exactly.
links.
See, I'm actually in support of YouTube Red, and the reason why is because one, I get Google Play with it, like they come as a pair, so you're just paying for
Interesting.
one.
Okay.
it's just extra shit I don't need.
Well, I mean, I want a streaming service anyway.
But the bundles, Neil. The bundles.
The thing is the YouTube for us right now doesn't change. There's ads. That's great. I like to avoid ads. I hate advertisements. If I don't want to watch it, I just don't want to watch it. I want
Download
to
the
hit
YouTube
skip
video
button.
instead of watching it. There's no ad.
But they're also adding extra features. So there's a download option when you're a YouTube Red member. So I can download it to my device and play it when I'm not online. So
There's
if I'm a
Chrome
traveler,
extension for that.
Yeah, there's
but it's a legal way to do it where you're supporting people that are living off of this, right? So they're trying to give back to.
Oh,
you're
they still
skipping-
get your money if you download it.
Yeah.
Like if you use the plugin because you have to start watching the video to download it. So
get the
that
view.
still counts as a
Well, no, what I'm
view,
saying
and
is-
that still counts
is-
as an ad view for them.
The way that they did it though is with YouTube Red. If you're skipping the ads but you're still watching their stuff, the person that's hosting it is still getting something. That's what they're working on. They're not making it to where you can't make money off of ads. They're still trying to make it to where people will post to YouTube. So I want to see where it goes. Right now I'm in support of it, and I want to see where it
Well,
goes.
I think one of the problems with this is that they're starting to think as if YouTube is the only option,
Yeah.
and
Well,
it's
obviously not because
It's
Facebook
not.
is challenging them now.
Well, not even just Facebook. Like where prices start to rise, and where a large number of people flock to, as soon as they start charging money, it goes away almost overnight.
Yeah, but that can be a problem too because you lose content. You can grow something more with a financial base. So if they don't charge too much, if they keep it small, and I think what Kyle was saying, they're keeping the ads too, so you can go either way.
Yeah.
Well,
So
well,
it
well,
doesn't change
here's-
for a normal
here's the thing.
user.
Here's
You're
the
just
thing, though.
saying
It'll
if you
go
have
either
Google
way,
Play-
but some
Yeah.
people won't be on both. Like they'll have
That's where it's a problem.
But here's my gripe with it. They're charging you money to make money off of you.
yeah.
And that's the same problem I had with Hulu. You pay for their service and you still watch ads.
I don't watch
no,
ads.
no, but the Red doesn't have the ads.
No ads whatsoever on anything except the paid channels, which I haven't found one yet. So you have no ads whatsoever, and
So
you
wait,
have
there's a
everything
third
with
level
Google
having to
Play.
pay to watch this shit now?
No, there's apparently now series on YouTube that you have to pay to watch them like you would on Amazon Prime, like
Really?
rent them. Yeah, I haven't found it yet.
I haven't heard about
They
those
exist. I found it when I read the article. But when you
Interesting.
get YouTube Red, there's no ads whatsoever. You're ad free 100%. Period for anything on
Yeah.
YouTube.
So how much do you pay per month not to get ads?
The same exact amount as Google Play, and you get that too.
I don't care about Google Play.
The thing is they're basically just enhancing. When you had Google Play, you had all Vimeo music videos with no ads.
See, this is what's gonna
expanded
happen.
that and let you buy either or.
They're going to pull a Microsoft on you. They're going to say, hey, guess what, guys? You got OneNote? Do you want unlimited storage space? Here, have it. Oh, wait. We can't afford to give you unlimited storage anymore. If you're an Office 365 user, you get to keep 1 terabyte. If you're a OneDrive user that we told you had unlimited space, you have 12 months to get down to whatever you're going to pay for.
I don't think so.
And
I think they would raise rates before doing anything else like that. And Hulu's going that way too. Hulu's now started a streaming service that has no ads.
That's the one I have. The only
with
ones that are
Hulu-
exceptions are like Shield is an exception. There's one at the beginning and end due to contract, but they already have stated after this date the contract's been renegotiated, no ads whatsoever. So it's only with NBC for Shield.
No.
Which one's Shield?
CBS, I think. No, ABC.
So
Yes.
that's the only one, and there's only a handful of shows that have an ad at the beginning and the end, and they're like, it's this long. Go smoke a cigarette, which you can't in 15 seconds. But still, they're letting you know it's at the beginning and the end. The end you can turn off. That's easy. Everything else I watch on Hulu is ad-free. I think it's getting better.
Yeah, it's more options. As long as they're keeping it options and not saying you must go this route, I think it'll be fine.
I still haven't found a reason to force me to spend money on Netflix or Hulu.
Well, that's the thing is you spend money on cable every month, whereas I'm only spending like $20 on
I
everything I
spend
do.
money on cable every month for one thing primarily.
Basketball.
Yes.
I could add another streaming service to what I have and still be cheaper than cable.
But you couldn't get basketball.
Wrong. Sports Stream.
Not
Or whatever that one is.
yeah,
I
you're
used
thinking
it
ball
last year.
streams.
Yeah, I used it last
And
year.
That's not bad, but that still doesn't give you NBA TV. It doesn't give you a lot of other things.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I
Okay,
watch a
when
lot
I
of.
think basketball, I'm thinking I'm going to watch a Rockets game. I don't care about the rest.
Yeah, see, I said basketball for a reason.
You're talking to a person that watches a sick amount of basketball.
Yeah, well, I mean, same with you
Well,
with
he should see a
racing, or
doc-
you know,
Yeah,
everyone
like-
has their one reason. I have other friends that the only reason they have it is for this one show. You know, I thought HBO did great when they're like, you know what? I feel the 22% of you people in the world who only have cable to watch Game of Thrones. We're just going to let you pay us directly for that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I turn
Great.
I turn my we have satellite at the house. I turn mine on every now and again to maybe watch. It's more of like I don't want to change inputs on the TV and then go to Plex and then start watching Simpsons.
Yeah.
It's already on FXX
Yeah.
for 4 hours a night. So it's like, oh,
I
just turn it
consider
on.
that white noise time.
Yeah, it is. It's just all background noise.
Yeah.
I'm doing this with something in the background, but it doesn't really get. It's not something that's going to be a go-to for me. Like even for sporting events, really the only thing I watch actively on TV right now is football. Even F1 at this point, I'm downloading the Sky UK coverage because the coverage on NBC Sports sucks a fat dick.
Yeah.
The commentators are retarded.
Oh, yeah.
They cut out during some of the best battles on track. They go to commercial break.
You know what I discovered? If you have, for some reason, if you have your, you put it in surround sound, 7.1 or 6.1, and you disconnect your center speaker, you disconnect the audio and you only hear the game.
Yeah.
You hear what's
Oh,
on the
okay.
field and you don't
Interesting.
hear the announcers.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a neat trick. Life hack.
I was about to say,
Did you see it on the
go
You Should
post that.
Know on Reddit?
No, I accidentally did it.
How did you accidentally do that?
My center speaker wasn't connected right, and so
Yeah,
every time I was listening, I was just listening to the game. I was like, "That is so cool! What's happening?"
That's going to be fantastic for Thursday Night Football because I'm tired of hearing every 45 seconds, here's a guy, here's a guy, here's a guy. I want to punch him in the fucking fat face. Fuck that guy. Okay, anyway.
That's my feeling at B-Dubs today. That someone was doing that the spice where they can take it in 6 minutes. And they had that giant red light. I wanted to punch someone. Side note.
Yeah.
Screw you, B-Dubs.
Well, it's getting awfully late.
Is it
I've
getting-
got like 3 or
Yeah.
4 things to talk about too.
Yeah, let's continue. 'Cause, I mean, we're
Okay.
like an hour 20 in.
Yeah, I've got a 7
We
a.m.
already
meeting,
Yeah, you got stuff to do.
so.
Speed, you got like 30 seconds. Go.
No, I mean,
Mockingjay is coming out December 20th. Mockingjay is getting a theme park.
I heard about this.
Ah, yes.
I also heard that some kid got sent home from his school this week for shooting an imaginary bow and arrow at
Yeah.
another student.
Yeah, the
What?
criminalization of childhood is going strong.
It's 3 fingers, right?
Yes.
That's to you.
You're gonna get to that one, buddy.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
to you because it's a fucking imaginary bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well,
next time, if you want sympathy from the internet, make a fake clock. Don't shoot.
You missed the one that was, I think, yesterday or the day before where someone got sent home from middle school because they gave an upset student a hug.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
See, this is just as bad as that article I read like 2 years ago that someone got sent home for spraying on too much Axe body spray. Like,
Yeah, I
get
heard about
over
that,
it.
too.
Just know, no matter who you vote for, we're still a nation of pussies. So have fun with the next 4 years.
When I was in high school, I sat next to the smelly kid sometimes, and they didn't send him home.
Yeah.
So get
Right.
over
Yeah.
it, people.
Smelly kid,
Okay.
smelly kid.
Awesome.
It's not your
Two more things quickly. Two awesome things. I'll go with the esoteric first. Michael Cera, Samuel L. Jackson, Mel Brooks joined Blazing Samurai voice cast, which is
Yeah.
going to be a takeoff of Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
That's when you
Animated.
said Blazing Samurai. I was like, oh please, please do it the way that I'm thinking in my head.
Animated feature, takeoff of Blazing Saddles.
When's it come out? I'm gonna put vacation.
It's animated, so it's probably going to be at least a year or two.
Depending on when all those actors are available.
Hollywood
Well, they only have to do
Hollywood-
voices, so
Dude, Hollywood
this
needs
shit
to
on the
work
phone.
quick to milk Mel Brooks for as much time as he has left.
August
Yeah.
4th, 2017.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I watched.
I should still be
I
alive.
watched some
I'm okay.
Spaceballs over the weekend.
Yeah.
I need to watch that
I
again.
bought that on Blu-ray just because I wanted to be able to say I bought that on Blu-ray.
You have blue Spaceballs?
Exactly, and it was like
Hey-o.
$1.99, so it was worth
Nice.
it.
Okay, last thing, and
Hope you
this is
didn't
going
catch
to probably
anything.
take some time to make.
I use protection.
Key and Peele are getting together with the director of A Nightmare Before Christmas and Coraline to produce and create a stop-motion animation.
I heard something about this.
Key and Peele has probably easily been one of the funniest things going for like the last, how long has it been, 5 years or so?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
See,
now, isn't it?
I've only seen little things.
This
though,
is they're going into the last season.
and waiters and waitresses hate me because if their name is Aaron or Blake, I'm on the entire time like,
Aaron.
like a
Aaron.
year ago from Halloween when we discovered, or I created, I should say, table boarding because we slowly moved the table till we took over another one. Our waiter was a flamboyant person named Aaron, and I was like, "Hey, Aaron, can I get some more orange juice?" Like the entire night. They have to hate Key and Peele if you're one of those names on Substitute Teacher's
Well, if you
Kit.
remember, like when the Chappelle Show infected everyone's brain like a virus, and I hadn't seen the show. I go into Best Buy. This is back when you actually bought DVDs. I went and bought a DVD or a CD or something like that, and the guy at the counter just goes, "Hey," or what was it? Yeah, yeah. And I was like, I just stared blankly at the guy, like, yeah. And he's just like, what?
And
Like,
see, the sad part
these
about this
CDs,
is not only
like-
did you miss the Chappelle reference,
I hadn't
you
seen the
missed
show yet.
You missed the song and the artist who actually did the exact same thing. that he was-
Little John was in a skit. That was real.
Dude, okay, it's the same thing. The same thing about going to Barnes & Noble, not knowing what Harry Potter was and seeing a bunch of grown-ass dudes wearing capes.
Oh yeah.
Because they were releasing the book that night.
Well, to be fair, you've never watched Lord of the Rings either, so I don't know why any of this is a
Hey,
surprise to
that
us.
does remind me when we went and saw one of the Harry Potters on opening night.
Yeah.
And me and Mike are walking out, and I go, I can't believe they killed Hermione.
Oh,
And
yeah.
This kid starts crying, and Mike's trying to hold it in. We get outside, and he goes, "You're a dick." And I was like, that's going to be the best movie of his life. I'm just saying.
That was like 6, wasn't it? I think.
I don't remember which one. All I know is, like, I felt
7?
good that night, and you thought I was the most horrible person ever.
Speaking
I
of
also
angles,
laughed, I'm
speaking
sure.
of angles where people should know better on spoilers, we're walking out of King Kong on opening night. And
I still haven't seen that.
so
Spoil
have you seen
it.
that?
Yeah.
Spoilers.
So,
It's been
yeah,
like 40
dude.
years.
No, I'm okay. Spoil.
1933, I think was when the movie first came
No,
out.
which one? I mean,
The first King
Yeah.
Kong was
Oh
like
no, I've
33.
seen that one.
Okay.
I'm talking about
The new one.
newish one.
Peter Jackson's King Kong?
Naomi.
It happened in the last
Naomi Watts.
decade.
Yeah,
Thank
Naomi
you.
Watts.
And
I've
the
seen
Jack
parts
Black.
of it.
Yeah. So anyway, we're walking out, and this is back.
She's so yummy.
This was before. This is before you had assigned seats, like you could actually purchase your seat for the movie. So there's lines out of the theater, and as we're walking out, Monkey, being the ass that he is, turns to the line and goes, "The monkey dies at the end." Like 3 people out of the 300 got the joke. The other ones just scowls in their face. The other ones are just cracking up laughing like, you've had time. It's kind of a known thing at this point.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah, so interesting.
Yeah, it
And
reminds
then-
Yeah, they've. I've heard they're doing 2 more Jurassic World movies.
Yeah, I saw that today.
I still haven't seen the. New
I'm
one.
okay with that. He's not.
Yeah, that's why I had to bring it up to get
Jurassic World, up until about 2/3 in, was cool.
I haven't seen it.
The last
It's
third of
good.
it was a giant pile of dicks.
Okay.
It basically just goes, audience, we know you've been with us up to this point. We're about to fuck your world over.
I thought the movie was great. I loved it. I've watched it over 10 times.
Like there
It was unbelievably horrible.
There was some cheesiness, but it's fucking dinosaurs on an island. Like you have to expect a certain amount. This goes back to the
when
Mel Gibson remake
when the
that he
movie
walked
gives up
out
on everything it's established up until Act 3, and just goes new direction, we give up.
I disagree.
I liked it.
I thought it was
I'll
great.
have to see it. One last thing I forgot. I didn't realize I had this. Slight spoiler. If you don't want me to say it, let me know. For the new X-Men Apocalypse,
Say it.
Go for it.
We're good with that, man.
it's going to apparently start out as a Quicksilver-centric movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to start following him.
Dude, the Fox Marvel feud
Yeah.
is getting hot, man. I'm waiting for that Drake that friggin' Drake mixtape to drop.
Yeah.
Where Marvel just like starts ripping on Fox.
Yeah.
But it's impacting things in the comic books.
Oh yeah.
Like it's getting pretty crazy, man.
I'm looking forward to Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I think that
I'm
should
looking
be,
forward to Apocalypse. I mean,
Yeah.
they did Quicksilver right.
I'm going to throw what I'm looking forward into just for Chad. Road Warrior sequel announced. The Mad Max.
Part 2, the new, the second of like the new
to
trilogy.
the Wasteland, I think it's called.
Cool. I haven't heard about it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's Mad Max the Wasteland.
Do they have someone to write the dialogue and not just Michael Bay that shit while they were doing it?
Yes, please.
Well, the picture just shows a big explosion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I mean, there were some
I'm
great
gonna
parts
like
of the new movie. There were some great parts, but it was kind of
When it got to the point where he's like, "May you die shiny and chrome," I'm like, I'm out.
See, there are
so
two
like
movies
15
that I've
minutes in
watched.
when they spray painted their mouth, you were gone.
I've made it like
No,
45 minutes.
I actually like that. I like the chrome. I liked kind of the religious feel of the people chasing
All
them.
of those elements were awesome. The
Yes.
dialogue was so ham-fisted, I couldn't sit through
And the
it.
character development, I thought, was just two-dimensional. Except for maybe the villains.
Yeah.
Some of the villains kind of had some good
I just want to see
development.
explosions. Like I loved that. It
There
was
were
good.
two movies I watched in the past year to year and a half, maybe 2 years, that I could sum up the entire movie in one sentence for each of them. One of them was Mad Max, and the other was John Wick.
Well,
John
John
Wick
Wick was badass.
That was
Kill my
awesome.
dog, you stole my car, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, all those elements. All
Yeah,
those
but
elements.
you want to see the second one? Like, do they find? Does he have
Actually,
a cat?
we talked about this a few weeks or months back. I
Yeah.
actually thought it was a pretty good movie. It
John
was
Wick
enjoyable.
was extremely well done.
We
But you
should
know,
see a release date
you
on
have
the
Mad
second
Max. Hey, we're going to go over here, and then we're going to decide to come back, and that's the movie.
yeah.
Like,
Now,
it's a road trip, and then we're going to turn around and be like, we need to be back where we started.
See, I would put a comma. I put a.
Like, that's essentially what that movie would happen.
There's an additional thing that says
It was road
there's
trip
a-
without the snake.
There's a comma, but no. One sentence I can do, but you need a comma, but cool ass explosions.
Yeah. Great guitar solo.
Yeah,
Working
that's a
guitar
separate sentence.
as well.
Yeah, and yeah,
But
but no. So John Wick,
Even as
so
a
the
guitar
sequel-
fan, I'm still like, it's not selling me on this.
So I saw this yesterday. The John Wick sequel. Guess what it's called?
John
Wick. They're not adding anything to it. It's just you're gonna have to figure out. Hey, you seen John Wick? Yeah, no, the one from like last year, not 3 years ago. They're changing absolutely nothing. They're just
do
making a
you
new one.
not sort your downloads by date?
Well, it depends on when I downloaded them. What if I download it in like both at the same time?
Plex will automatically, based off the file itself, add whatever.
Yeah.
It's gonna be slightly confusing when drunk. Just saying.
On the topic of Keanu, he did a movie with Eli Roth called Knock Knock.
Yeah.
So shout out to Ed if he ever
that new one. It's the new one, right?
yeah, if he makes it this far,
He won't.
he probably won't listen to this anyway.
I don't know. Travis been a bitch lately. He might make it.
Actually,
this far.
he has a flight too.
You got time, Ed.
I'm gonna tell him tomorrow.
Yeah, so let's maybe check out Knock Knock. It's Eli Roth.
which I'm a fan of.
Could be interesting.
Yeah.
I've seen the trailer. It looks intriguing.
I flipped through it and it looks like a typical Eli Roth kind of ride. So it looks pretty interesting.
I'm gonna give it a try. I'm a Roth fan. But back from 4 doors or 4 rooms? 4 rooms, I think, back in the day.
4 Rooms, Eli Roth didn't direct a segment on there.
He didn't? I
No.
thought he was involved with that.
I think he was in it as an actor.
That was it? Okay.
But
I know it was Tarantino, Rodriguez. I thought Eli had one, and then there was one other.
he may have.
I'll Google it. Give me a second.
Allison Sanders, Alexander Rockwell, Tarantino, and Rodriguez.
Okay, so he just a part of the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that may have been before Roth had you're thinking Tim Roth.
I am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a star in that one.
Yeah.
Tim Roth was the only sort of linking
That's
element
right.
between all 4 segments.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I got the wrong Roth.
Yeah. Eli Roth, Hostel.
Yeah.
He was the Bear Jew in
That's right.
in
Yeah.
Inglourious Bastards. Yeah, longtime Tarantino friend.
Yeah. Which is why I got him confused because
Yeah.
Tarantino's involved in both those.
Yeah.
He
makes some pretty warped movies.
Yeah.
But they're great. I know we're
They're
coming off
fun
the
ride.
tail end of October, but they're great movies for this time of year.
Oh, there's still some of them showing up on the premium channels.
Yeah.
So
It's still worth it.
yeah.
So we wrapping this up?
Yep.
You got to go.
Libsyn.
All right. Well, okay. So for reals, if you listen to wherever you find this, know there's a Facebook page. We've mentioned this a couple times before. If you go to thirdcoastnerds.com, and that's 3rdcoastnerds.com, you can see it takes you right to our Facebook page. From there, we link all the episodes, whether if it's on YouTube or our Libsyn account, which is where you download the audio from. You can search iTunes and find us. You can search Google Play very soon. Should have the episodes archived. You can also get us on, I haven't checked out Stitcher yet to see if we have a presence there, but I know you can get us on Podbay if you're on Android. So
Pocket Casts.
Pocket
what
Cast,
I'm on.
any aggregator for podcasts, you can find this.
And if you can't find us, post it, and we'll send you a direct link.
But more importantly, if you listen to this, tell a friend. Because if you dig it, tell a friend.
They're gonna dig it too.
Yeah, they should dig it too. And
Don't just be selfish and keep us to yourself.
yeah, and feedback. Start a conversation on Facebook. I answer as soon as things pop up. Things rarely pop up.
Yeah.
So do that. Be a friend.
Yep.
And to all, good night.
Happy holidays.